I was telling Joey that you went to the dentist, and then he was like, did you know dentists can tell if you've given a blowjob?
Yeah,
She looked at mine. She goes, "I can see you haven't given a blowjob in a long time."
You're thrusting your tongue, but not on penises.
Hey Siri, remind me to tell Layla about this crazy thing that happened yesterday.
Voice memo, Hannah. You will not believe who I saw last night.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you the epiphany I just had.
Girl, I know we just talked, but I forgot the best part of the story.
Layla, I cannot wait to tell you.
Hannah, I literally can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
I can't wait to tell you.
Hey, Layla.
Hey, Hannah.
I'm in a chatty mood.
Oh my God, let's go. Let's freaking do
Just
it.
in a chatty. Just even before we got on mic, I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
What did you do before this?
I did I'm back on my schedule of taking care of myself.
She's back,
so
baby.
I woke up at like 7:30, my new time.
Wow.
Well, I told you this off mic, but I got some really great news about friend of the pod, Carrie Sheridan. Now I'm just going to keep saying it out loud to make sure it still happens, but Carrie sort of gave me the
go ahead.
that she is moving back to Chicago, estimated this summer.
You're giving Maria. I just met a girl named Carrie Sheridan.
I'm just so excited. I feel like it's a part of the manifesting of community. And, I said I was going to make new friends this year, but if my old friends keep coming back, I don't even have to make any new friends.
Old community is new community, baby.
Exactly. How are you today?
I'm good. I woke up at 8:30. I meditated. I cleaned up. I worked out. It's kind of crazy, this life.
I think I like this little life.
We know TikTok stuff.
That's from like a year ago. I'm coming here today with some huge news for the listeners, for anyone who's known me. I went to the dentist.
Oh, yes.
It has been, I think I've already come clean on the podcast before, but it's been over 15 years since I've been to the dentist. Our guest is looking at me like I'm crazy. And yeah, that's the correct response to that. But it's just been something. I haven't had dental insurance, and I never took the steps to get dental insurance.
This was a huge step.
And I think it wasn't ever a big fear of mine, but then it became a big fear of mine just because it was always that thing of, okay, what's looming in there? What's happening in there? And I went, Aaron told me that there was Avondale Dental.
Avondale Dental Nightclub.
I went, and it was a good experience. And I've got to say, I will also sing their praises if you're looking for a dentist, because I also didn't realize that dentists can be kind of con artisty.
Yeah.
They can like overcharge you, or just, I remember Shelby was telling us that they were like looking for a second opinion.
Dentists are schemers. Watch out.
Right. And I came in and there was a chatty lesbian talking about her wife immediately.
A great green flag for Hannah.
Such a green flag. And she was just being so fun. And I was like, okay. And then the person who checked me in and it's also been over 15 years since I went to the dentist, and there's all new practices. There was a photo shoot for my mouth that lasted, I'm not kidding, an hour. They took so many x-rays. They went in with like a digital camera thing. Like, I'm not kidding, an hour of photographs, and then made a thing there was a TV in my room that we then put my mouth up with all of these 3D images, and then we looked at my mouth, and I'm like, honestly, the way the back of my mouth look is none of my business. My mouth look. It was disturbing.
A photo shoot makes it sound so glamorous. But they're playing music and they're like, yes.
I mean, they had a very gentle touch, and we were walking me through everything, which I appreciate. But it was just crazy how many photos they took, and then how many details they showed. And look, yes, I have a lot of cavities.
Do you want to say how many?
I'm going to say, I'll just say.
Is it over 10?
I'm going to say more than 5, less than 13.
Less than 13?
And it's not 13 or 12.
Okay, it's not 13 or 12. Interesting. But it's more than 10 maybe.
And so they were like, so your mouth doesn't hurt at all? I'm like, no. And they're like, that's kind of crazy. And I will say, like,
You're like, I'm used to the pain.
right. They're like, nothing, because they're like, did anything bring you in? And I was like, honestly, no. I think if anything, I'm shallow, and I'm like, my teeth look good. So
They always look good.
Right. And I'm like, so they must be fine. And there were some things, and she was and I'm like, worst case scenario, they were going to tell me that I needed a root canal or something. And like nothing that dramatic is happening back there. She's just like, you're going to need some fillings. We're going to have you get 2 deep cleans. And then she did tell me that I was a tongue thruster, which I was okay. She was like, this bite right here, like, does that bother you? I'm like, should it bother me? And she was telling me I have a click in my left jaw, which I never
we're similar.
I'm like, maybe I just have a really high pain tolerance and I never knew. But I'm feeling really confident about about my treatment plan, and just really, really, really proud of myself.
I'm so proud of you. That's huge. It's so scary when you haven't gone in a long time and you don't know what they're going to say. But honestly, I feel like that's pretty best case scenario.
And I will say, like, because the last time I went to the dentist, at that point up into my life, I have never had a cavity. So when people like talk about the dentist, I'm like, well, I've never had a cavity. And I've been saying that for the past 15 years.
Listen,
turns out it was a lie.
Your 30s are for your cavities, because when I turned 30, that's when I got my first 3 cavities. And that was going to the dentist every year. So you just never know when it could pop up.
You just never know what's in there. And I will say I'm not a fan of the needle into the tooth.
What? The needle into the tooth? I don't know. What are you talking about?
Don't you know they have the little poker, and like they'll poke into like the center of your tooth?
Yeah, and you can kind of like feel the scraping and stuff.
I'm not a fan of that at all. I used to have, you want to hear a perverted story?
Always.
I had a orthodontist, and me and my friend Rachel, we both had it, and we both hated him, but we could never really like nail down why we hated him. But both of us were like, I have to go to the fucking orthodontist today. I hate Dr. Smith. And looking back, he did this thing where he'd be like, I'm going to use your body as my tray for my instruments. So you have to hold really still.
Ew.
So he would put like a napkin over like essentially our chest and stomach, and then lay out all of the instruments and then pick them up from our body.
That's so fucking weird.
And in his mind, he was like, oh, it's how to keep the girls still. And because and every time me or Rachel would go in, he'd be like, oh, here's the girls who love to talk a lot. These are the bad girls. I'm sure they're always causing trouble. We got to keep you still and put the instruments on your chest. Like,
my God.
I think one time he literally was like, I don't always do this with the girls, but because you girls are crazy, I've got to make sure you stay still and quiet.
Ew, that's so fucking weird.
It was so weird.
He's like, I want a reason to touch the girls.
And I just always remember he would always be flirting with my mom. And like, my mom was like oblivious to me, I guess, being kind of like molested a little bit.
Oh my God.
And he would just go in and he'd always ask about my dad. And
that's
to my mom.
So weird.
I know, very, very strange.
While all of his tools were on your body.
On my body. And I'm like,
Yeah, my orthodontist was also kind of weird. His name was Dr. Hershon. I also didn't like him, but he didn't use my body. There's something in the air, because I got a text this morning. I have a dentist appointment tomorrow morning.
Wow.
And I'm
just for a cleaning?
For a cleaning. And I'm so glad I got the text, because I had no idea.
Wow.
So that was huge. You put something in the air.
Something in the air. Get your dental work done, everybody.
Get your dental work done, everybody. I was trying to, oh God, you made me think of something else went with the dentist, but it's gone now. I was just going to say that my sister, she goes to the dentist every year, and she does have to get like a root canal, and one of her teeth broke. So
wow, that's the thing. Like, I'm grateful that I didn't grow up drinking like soda. I didn't all of the stuff that like really rotted your teeth when you were younger. Cause like, I know people who like went to the dentist all the time and they just have a lot of dental issues. I mean, I always go back to, I think my mom did me a service of letting me nurse for 16 months.
And speaking of nursing, that reminds us of our guest. Because, God, when it comes to nursing, this guy looks milk-fed. I think we should bring him in, don't you?
I think so as well.
He's an amazing comedian, musician, and also our neighbor and friend. Bring him in, Chas Lilly.
I have haven't been to the dentist since the pandemic.
Okay, that's not bad.
But I've never been sushi barred.
Sushi barred. A great word for it. But
That is a great
I can't
word.
wait to tell
That's
you
one of the wildest
dictionary.
stories I've ever heard. I wanted to jump in the whole time.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I should go to the dentist. I lost my health insurance like right after the pandemic, and so then I just didn't go. And now I hate going to the dentist, but it's not. I had a groovy ass orthodontist. He was very cool, normal guy.
I had a hippie stoner
Very chill
orthodontist.
dude.
I have a question for you. Are you the type of people that will like brush your teeth before like an outing or an event? Like
I'm a morning night.
Yeah.
me too, morning night.
I'm morning night, but if I have a special thing, sometimes I do it just out of habit.
Like I know people who like incessantly will brush their teeth if they know like they have a show or like if they're going out to dinner and they like want to do an extra one. I don't like brushing my teeth.
I don't do it before a show. I use the Listerine in the ETC bathroom before.
Nice.
I will say there's certain things that I eat, like popcorn or apples, where I have to floss afterwards.
Yeah, and that's fair.
But yeah, I'm like, sometimes if I'm just in the mood to, I will. But another thing my dentist said that I was kind of like, ugh, she was like, do you snack a lot? I was like, what does that have to do with my teeth? And she said snacking, because every time you eat, you get acid in your mouth to break down the food. So if you're like snacking a lot, you're bringing a lot of acid into your mouth. That is, I guess, not ideal.
Okay, you reminded me of the thing I was trying to think of earlier. I was telling Joey that you went to the dentist, and then he was like, did you know dentists can tell if you've given a blowjob?
Yeah,
She looked at mine, she goes, I can see you haven't given a blowjob in a long time.
You're thrusting your tongue, but not on penises.
I'm a therapist I'd like you to talk to.
You should use that tongue thrusting in a different way. That's crazy.
How would someone be able to tell that you've given a blowjob from your
Joey
teeth?
said that because you can see that your like the back of your mouth has been like slightly bruised or punctured, and I'm like,
No way.
I'm like, who's fucking deep throating and puncturing the back of their mouth, and then going to the dentist, being like, sorry, dentist, I sucked too much dick.
Also, this is so dark of
Joey.
me to say. Trigger warning.
I'm not puncturing my mouth for Joey.
This is trigger warning, but like, what if someone was like bulimic and making themselves throw up?
You can tell it's not penis.
Yeah.
A finger is different than a penis.
A finger. And listen, we know that 100% of the time.
What? Okay, Shelby just found something on Google.
Shelby, what is it? Do you want the mic?
Yeah.
So it'll show up in the back of your mouth like small red purple spots or like a hickey. It'll show up on the back of your mouth for up to 3 days.
Okay, I'm sure that's just if you're getting like fucking face fucked. Like I feel,
And that's what I said to Joey. I was like, that must mean that you're
You know
getting
what
face
I'm-
fucked.
I'm like, there's a difference between like a little tease at the beginning and being like, I'm not gonna complete that, than like getting fucking
And then
like
I was
what is
like-
it? Skull fucked.
I can't believe we're already talking about school fucking. I was gonna bring it up, but
That's what you've been
that's what I
contemplating.
was gonna talk about on the podcast, and I was like, I think I'm gonna
and
try
contemplating
to.
face fucking.
If I can work in face fucking at some point, then I think it'll be successful.
know.
I didn't have to; it came up organically.
Well, I was saying to Joey, I was like, okay, so people are going to the dentist who are like, and then he was like, some people might want to do that. I'm like, no one chooses that. No one chooses
Some
that.
women are actually awesome and they like that kind of stuff. I wish
said,
you were more
shut
like
up,
that.
close your mouth. I'm never doing that. The back of my mouth is perfect. It's never been touched.
The back of my throat is a virgin.
The back of my throat is a virgin. Well, I'm really glad we got to that point.
Glad we got that cleared up.
Chase, do you want to hop into our... Oh, wait, actually, let's give some context. I got some feedback from my family that sometimes we introduce our guests and they're like, how do you know them?
Okay,
Oh,
here's
yeah,
the
sure.
thing. We get mixed reviews. Some
I
people want
know.
us to dive into the 3 C's and they're like, we actually don't need to know your whole backstory.
Great.
And that was my family's feedback earlier.
Well, right. Your family's so
I guess we were
so
going too far into the
flip-floppers.
history of it. Anyway, sorry guys, family. But we know Chase from comedy, and Chase is currently on the ETC at Second City.
This is true.
So Chase has sort of taken, like, as we've found our freedom, you've kind of taken that away.
I'm in prison.
You're in prison.
You're-
yes.
you're in
Put
the prison,
into
but you
Second
like
City
it.
Jail.
Yeah,
and I'm
ETC
having a great
jail.
time. I'm
It's-
running the jail.
Look,
You're running the jail.
Jail can be fun if you're with the right people.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah.
that was a great way to put
Jail
it.
can be fun when
If
you're with the right people. We're trying
Yeah,
to
sure.
we're trying to get a record deal. We're singing everything today.
Also,
we're waiting for Chase to be like, you guys should write that down.
Yeah.
I'd love to
Chase
make
is
a
like,
record.
you know that sound you were looking for?
that new sound.
I didn't know if you wanted me to sing or not, and I was like, I'm gonna let them
Chase,
have
come
it.
on, sing it.
I think they let's
Your
let them
favorite
have
game.
This moment.
Sing
it.
No.
Wait, but Chase, also, you need to get some credit because you were a huge influence on this podcast because you and Claire were the original Miladies. So,
Oh,
Claire,
wait.
do you know what
What does that
Milady?
mean?
Oh my God. Okay, Hannah, explain.
So now I can't even. So
We were talking about Milady energy on the podcast.
Milady energy, and
Sure,
that I
sure.
think you might have actually coined that term to Claire.
Sure. Well, I don't
And
think
then-
I coined the term. I think that's like an internet thing from
Okay.
2010.
No.
But there's
No,
a
you
specific kind of
created
guy
it.
that's like a milady kind of guy.
Chase?
Yes,
And they
then we
exist
took that.
in spades in the improv.
Yes, there's a lot of miladies.
A lot of
And
miladies
here's
in the
thing,
improv community.
I
that
am
could
sort of milady
stand to
energy.
chill the hell out.
I'm milady energy, and that like my new thing is getting doors for everyone. Like I can't let
that's not
someone
the
get
same.
their own door.
I think that's
but
nice.
It's creeping into milady energy of like
Sure.
milady.
I think it's the way you do it. I think I've innocuously held doors open for people where they weren't like, that guy is thinking about me naked right now.
I think I kind of do it in a milady way where I kind of a little hat tip whenever I hold the door.
Yeah.
But I would say you don't really have any milady energy.
That's
You're
very nice.
anti-milady.
That's honestly
I
very
can't
kind.
think of
That's
anything you've
kindness.
ever done that is Milady.
No.
I'm trying
Hold on,
to
let me think.
I'm
sure I
openly
can find-
rude to women.
To me, it's like Milady energy is also like guys who are like, me thinks we should go get tacos.
or
Let me pet this doggo.
let me doggo. That was awkward.
What makes my lady energy, I think, truly sinister is like it's on the surface, it's meant to look like you are a good person, but you have bad intentions underneath.
It seems like
Oh,
the
I
kind
like
of
that. Yeah.
person who is giving milady up until you reject them, and then they're like, well, actually, you're a bitch and I should you.
I'm so glad. I was going to bring that up, but we got there organically.
We'll bring it out. but you're so right.
Don't believe that. Shelby, keep that in.
Milady and incel culture is like a one rejection
There's
away
a
from
huge
each other.
Venn diagram.
Yes.
Yes, they are not far away from each other.
Yes.
I would say incel is like the Republican-leaning milady.
Yes.
Whereas a milady is a liberal incel.
Big time.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. Where like an incel might do something and then a milady's just gonna jerk off to that thought.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
He's
An
gonna get the
incel
demon
might
out
do
of
something
him.
about it with his gun. Whereas the Milady guy will be liberal and jerk off.
Yeah.
Jerk off,
and
yes,
just really feel
exactly.
sad about it.
Oh my God. I'm glad we got all the things that
And then
Chase wanted to
watch
talk
And
about.
finally, my
Firefly.
family got the context.
Was that enough for you, Gorsteins?
Hey guys, I'm Chase. Nice to meet you. I was at the wedding.
Yeah, wait, have you met my family? I feel like you have.
Maybe briefly in passing, but not for any amount of time where I
want
think
you
that
to
they
meet
would
them.
remember me. Yeah.
really
I've
want
heard
you to
lots
meet-
of stories.
I really want you
It's
to meet.
South Carolina, right?
Yeah.
That's where my little brother is right now.
Wait, your little
okay.
brother's in South Carolina?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's where his wife is from.
Oh my God.
Greenville, right? That's the place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just moved there.
Oh, that's cool.
It's beautiful.
Greenville is really cool.
Yeah.
Or like, it's fun to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Okay, great. I'll tell him.
Yeah. Make sure you tell them, okay?
My friend Layla, she's awesome. She hates where you live.
I like Greenville, and I like it's great for biking. That was where my brain was going,
Yeah.
but it's super Republican.
Oh.
So, anyways, what are you consuming?
What are you consuming right now, Chase?
What am I consuming? I mean, we're rewatching Mad Men. A lot of Mad Men's happening in my
yes,
house
yes.
right now.
So good. What season?
We're on season 2, but I got Claire the box set because
So
it's, like,
Claire's
her
already
favorite.
told me this.
Yes.
Because there's the like commentary, very into the commentary.
Whoa.
So we watch every disc. We'll watch the whole disc. It'll be like 5 episodes, and then we'll rewatch it with the commentary on. One of the commentaries on.
Like, it'll be like a commentary while the episode is playing.
Yes, they'll be talking over the episode like, this is why we did this, and this is why we did
Is
that.
it so
Yeah.
all John Hamm or
No,
the director?
Matt Weiner is the big talker.
So this is interesting that you bring that up and what
Yeah.
we just talked about, because Claire had a lot of thoughts on Matt Weiner.
Yeah.
And give some backstory of because obviously he is a genius mind, but he has some quirks in the way he talks about women.
Sure, totally. He does have, maybe it's like mommy issues or something, but there's just something that's always under the surface where he's like, look at her beautiful dress. And she's beautiful. And
she's a full-figured woman in a way. Like, you can tell that we wanted someone with a natural, beautiful...
They're so sexy. It's like of the time. It's the 50s. You know, it's different. They're a little bit more kosher, but there's something about it that's more sexy.
And he's straight.
I don't know.
Okay.
He has a wife and he has kids.
Yeah.
He doesn't like necessarily read as like super mask, but I also think he's probably not neurotypical, and that's just like part of his talking is that he's very blunt and has no filter.
It's also sort of giving a little bit of like Tarantino freakiness.
Yeah.
Or not Tarantino. Who's the one who likes the feet?
That's Tarantino.
Okay, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Of
all of them,
like,
but Tarantino openly.
Yes,
Tarantino
exactly.
openly.
Where it's sort of like this, I think their freaky passion about things does help. It helps in telling these stories, but it doesn't make it any less freaky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's like a voyeuristic element.
The like fixation of like, yes, it's like icky to hear him talk about like, oh, the women had a little bit fuller of a figure and a dress that skimmed nicely, but it's like, okay, yeah, visually things are working and they make sense. And I mean, Christina Hendricks on Mad Men, just absolute.
Va-va-va-voom.
Va-va-va-boom. Ba-ba-boobies. Great rack.
Well, there is like, okay, so there's this like famous scene in the first season where all the women are trying on lipstick and they're behind a two-way mirror, and like the guys are on one side like watching them try on the lipstick, and the girls are on the other side. And Christina Hendricks does like this thing where she knows that the guys are on the other side of the mirror, so she like bends over in front of the mirror and does this whole thing. And the commentary during that part was so odd. Ooh. Where everybody's like, hard day at work. that sort of thing where it's like just Christina Hendricks bent over and
oh no.
Tough to hear.
And well, you know what is always gonna freak me out? That Elizabeth what's her last name?
Moss.
Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist.
Yeah.
Yes.
And kind of and like same thing with her being in Handmaid's Tale, where it's like, oh, she's telling these stories about oppression.
Yes.
And then is being open or like currently
are oppressive.
Yeah. It's so wild to me.
Yeah, a show in the 50s and 60s that's ultimately about the power dynamic between men and women and how dumb these men are who like failed upwards, and how like impressive these women had to be in order to succeed. And then for that to be the commentary is
That is so strange because they're like making such a big statement with the show, but then to align with the men in that way of being like hard day at work is so crazy to me.
I mean, it's almost
show.
too perfect.
Such a good show.
So many layers. This is so
good.
Not kind of off topic, but just I want to get it out there. Has anybody seen that people think Jim Carrey has been cloned?
I have absolutely seen this. What do you think?
I mean, so I will say I do dabble in the Illuminati conspiracy of it all.
Okay,
and
I love that.
And with all of the Epstein stuff coming out, I do think there's really fucked up shit going on. And like, yes, I think it can go a step farther than I'm willing to be like, but it's freaky.
Yeah.
Okay, my first thought is that it might be true. My second thought is, what if it's Jim Carrey doing some sort of role or prank or whatever? Because have you seen all the videos of him before this where he's like calling out the Illuminati and have you seen any of this?
Well, yesterday Joey showed me a video of Jim Carrey speaking French.
Oh.
So that's not Jim Carrey.
That's not Jim Carrey?
People don't think it is.
That's the conspiracy. Is that's
because it was just a random guy speaking French?
Or his face looks different.
His face is
eye
different.
color
Eyes
is
are a different color. And all of the clips up before
kind
that.
of a different shape too.
Different shape. And he could have just gotten bad work done. But leading up to that, Jim Carrey is never someone who I would think would get work done.
Yeah.
And like all of the clips like that Jim Carrey has been at or like award shows, he is very
antisocial
and very much like none of this is real.
Yeah.
Have you seen the clips of him on Jimmy Kimmel where he's like
from the past?
Yes. And like there's like an interview of him on the red carpet. He's like, none of this is real. None of this is true. He accepted an award and he was like, yeah, I don't think the greatest nation in the world is someone who traffics children. And like, so people think they have killed the real Jim Carrey and
I have
that
a
this
theory.
is, okay, give it to me.
What's your theory?
It's not as fun as that.
Yeah, okay, give it.
I think he's maybe doing like a Joaquin Phoenix thing. Like, I think that this is part of some kind of, like, he probably had some kind of work done
Yeah.
for some kind of role. It might have even been like more prosthetic than it was actual work.
Yeah.
And that he is doing some kind of role coming up that's going to involve him playing like a much softer sort of character. And that's what he's doing.
And he hasn't been on anything in how many years?
He did like that Mr. Rogers show
Okay.
for Showtime not that long ago.
Okay.
And there was
Couple years
something
ago,
else
yeah.
that he did. There was some movie.
He
He's
on
in
Sonic the
Sonic.
Hedgehog? Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, what the hell?
He's Dr. Eggman and Sonic.
Yeah,
That's the last thing he did in 2024.
Oh my
Okay.
God. The last
Like,
thing he did was Sonic.
He's around.
I could see that also being the case, but also his like temperament was so like weird. He was
Did y'all like Jim Carrey as a kid? Were you?
I
'cause
did.
Jim Carrey was like my idol. growing
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I really, really like Jim Carrey. And honestly, I really resonated with like when he was sort of, I remember seeing some sort of interview and it was like his loft and he had all these big paintings because
Oh,
he like
yeah,
went
yeah.
into like painting for a long, and I had so much like empathy for him because I think he just got so disillusioned with Hollywood for good reason. And
Yeah.
I think he is a good person who saw all this fucked up shit and he was like, is it all worth
And
all
he
of this?
Totally.
didn't like one of his family members
His
die
wife
tragically.
died. His
Yeah.
wife died.
Yeah.
He's had a hard life,
He's,
yeah.
he's
Yeah.
had such a crazy life, but I mean, like, my family was obsessed with Liar, Liar. Like, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was so...
perfect movie.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
One of my
Perfect
favorite
movie.
movies.
Yeah.
And it was, but that's crazy. So people think that he was murdered.
Well, they think this happened to a lot of celebrities. They also think Selena Gomez is not really Selena Gomez.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
Why?
I didn't really see that as much.
I didn't see that as much.
I like her and Benny Blanco.
Well, now all this stuff's coming
I
out
love
that
them.
actually people really don't like Benny Blanco.
Wait,
why?
why?
Because he's
Because he
actually,
talks like this.
well, there's like all these clips of him actually like putting Selena down and like kind of being a little
God.
bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that he's not all he's cracked up to be. I'm sure it's so hard to be a celebrity and have all of everything being dissected.
Yeah, yeah.
But
A
this
moment
is
that
not
doesn't
a,
actually reflect your relationship suddenly becomes like the entire narrative.
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so they think this is something like the government, will do, and like people are like online being like, "Rest in peace, Jim Carrey. We'll miss you forever."
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
they think
I
he's
mean,
gone.
like it's a lot of people genuinely believe it in a very real way.
So I'll say this. I like know someone, and just you can bleep this out.
You know someone cloned?
Bleep this part out. When he was like at like his height of sort of like becoming famous and like living out in LA, like he said he got approached like a couple different times of like a secret society and like a promise of these things. And like, he is like, the Illuminati is real. It's evil. And it's like and so they said that because don't you know, like a lot of celebrities, when they have like a mental breakdown, they'll shave their head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He says that's a sign showing the Illuminati that like I'm done. Like to cut your hair off.
Britney.
And Britney. And
She got
it's
out.
always like super public too when it happens. Like and it's
Wow.
always, and so that's like a sign of being like
Justin
Bieber.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
What about
That's
Natalie
interesting.
Portman for V for Vendetta?
That's interesting.
and so like but
Have you
they
seen the
were-
videos of like Bohemian Grove?
No.
what's that?
It's wild. Bohemian Grove is like this place that it started out and it was supposed to be this artist sanctuary. I think it's in California, like outside of the Berkeley area somewhere. And it started out as supposed to be like this artist haven, but more and more powerful people started getting, like, they needed money. So naturally, like, people started coming into this grove. And like there are people that have worked there that have been like, a lot of it's just really cringy stuff. It's like billionaires like doing Hamlet.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, where they're trying to be artists for a weekend.
It's like the Soho Club.
But like apparently a ton of things like have happened like the Iraq War happened pretty much directly after like a Bohemian Grove meeting of really powerful people. So I think a lot of that's like, I do believe in the sort of I believe that most conspiracies are actually way more on the surface than like hidden behind deep shadow walls of like whatever. It's like we don't need all these shadow walls. Like it's already here.
Yeah.
The Epstein stuff is open.
Hannah was talking about that last episode that like that a lot of times conspiracies are rooted in like some kernel of truth and then maybe it gets heightened.
Right. I think
I talked about 9/11 on stage the other day
it's so
for
funny.
a long time.
It's so funny. Claire, take a drink, because Claire, I was like, you know, your husband's coming on the podcast, and she's like, I just know he's going to talk about 9/11.
Dick Cheney gave the order to shoot down that plane, and it went down 2 minutes later, and you're telling me the heroes took it down? No, that was a story to make you complacent.
I mean, I've like also, went down the 9/11 rabbit hole. I also think
you were talking about baby blood.
Like how. Well, I mean, for years, the like conspiracy theorists are like celebrities and billionaires drink the blood of babies. And it's like things are coming out in the emails where it's like they were eating babies. And so it's like.
There's that one video of that woman yelling in Spanish. Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
That is terrifying.
It's terrifying. Have you seen? I mean, this is really dark.
Wait,
so
what
trigger
is?
warning.
I don't know that one.
There's like a photo of like a little girl who's probably like 3 or 4, and has her arms taped down like to a coffee table. I know. And here's the thing: all of this stuff, I get down black holes, and then I'm like some things I just don't want to know.
Why am I so stressed out all the time?
Truly,
I have anxiety.
It's like
the fact that we have access to these images is so nuts.
really
like so
awful.
scary.
And to like even not know how like what is real and what isn't real now is even the other thing that makes you feel crazy
with the AI of it all.
Yeah, because you know that some stuff can be faked, and you know that some stuff is real,
right?
And it's like I don't know.
The deciphering is so
and
hard.
I'm kind of dumb.
What's the woman
Same.
yelling in Spanish?
She was like yelling in Spanish. She had like, I think escaped from the island.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she's crazy. And she was like, they eat babies. They all of it. Like they eat people.
They're eating people. She's like yelling, they're eating people
they're
in there.
eating.
They're
And
all
so then-
eating people right now. And like everybody just was like, crazy lady
She's
yelling
crazy.
in Spanish.
Classic.
And like, and then, I mean, there's like stuff in the like files that like they think this is another huge thing. I think I've talked about it on the podcast actually before. Pizza.
Great.
Do you know about
the
pizza?
Pizzagate?
So that like pizza is like a code word for like pedophilia.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
they
think
would like
that's-
celebrities would have like pizza parties, and so
that started from the Pizzagate thing.
well, Ellen DeGeneres was like at the Oscars, and she was like,
she ordered
it's
pizza,
like she was like, she's like, you know what we need right now? I think we need like a pizza party, and it's like, who wants pizza? And she's like, Harvey Weinstein, like you want pizza? And was like going through and like, I know you like pizza, and then there's all of these interviews like Ellen DeGeneres, all these things where celebrities are randomly bringing up pizza.
Is Ellen a hero or a villain? Will we
think-
die? No. Will we die with the answer?
I think maybe hero turned villain after
Okay.
her sitcom got canceled. The world wasn't ready for a powerful lesbian.
I just thought she was hard to work with based
Yeah.
off of what people were saying.
I don't know. I think it seems as though I need to get off the internet. This is like the reason I need to get off it. There was like another interview with like Selena Gomez and her, and like I went down a big rabbit hole of like Ellen DeGeneres is like evil.
Sure.
Ooh.
I don't know if any of the pizza stuff's real or not. I know that they order pizza at like the Pentagon anytime that they are having like a long night. So like a lot of times people will predict markets based on if like a ton of pizza orders have been made in the area.
Whoa.
Because they have to order pizza in because everybody's staying up at the Pentagon. So they're probably going to like bomb. Like there's massive pizza orders made right before we went into Argentina.
So we recorded the podcast yesterday, and I just got out of the shower, and in the shower all of a sudden I was like, I just got hit with this sudden brain blast where I realized when we were talking about pizza and how the Pentagon orders a ton of pizza anytime they're going to invade a place, and how that's an indicator for the markets start trading differently and everything. I said Argentina when I meant Venezuela. So I'm going to sound pretty dumb on the podcast, but I remember that it was Venezuela. I remember old Nicky Maduro getting pulled out of Venezuela. And Argentina's got the guy who kind of acts like Trump as their leader. So, yeah, that's on me. I hope that this clears it up and that I look smart again.
That's crazy.
Massive pizza orders made before,
Who knew pizza was so powerful in so many ways?
Yeah.
I know.
Also, there was like a clip of Diddy was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and he said something kind of under
who I'm
his
still on the
breath.
fence about.
Yeah. I know you're a huge fan.
I know you're a big Diddy fan.
All about the Benjamins? Could that guy have really done all those things?
And he says something under his breath, and things get really, really weird. This is homework for everyone to look up these things if you want to be disturbed. And then, do you remember the guy? What was his name? Switch, who worked on? Shelby, get on this. He was like the dancer who worked for Ellen DeGeneres, and then he like died suddenly. But Switch, and he was like, he was there in the clip, and then like saw P. Diddy acting weird, and I think also heard them talking about something weird, and then he died. It's like suddenly and tragically.
This kind of stuff makes me like not want to be famous.
Baby, why do you think I've said from day one I was like, my goal is to never be famous? Because I think it's really dark and scary.
It's so sad though, because it's like you get to a certain point of success in the industry, and then there's just so much darkness to it.
I think that's why you create an independent lane, though.
Yeah.
Baby, put me on that F list. I want to be an F list celebrity. You know what I mean?
What would you do as an F list? Like, what is that job? What are you actually?
Host Fuckboy Island.
Like a F list, I'm like, I get to maybe write for some like cool things. I get to like.
I know one that you've said.
What have I said?
Being a bartender for Andy Cohen for
yes,
What Happens Live.
I get to be on Watch What Happens Live. I get to be a bartender.
There's no way that they get paid anything. Right?
I don't need to get paid for that.
Do you think?
Every episode of Watch What Happens Live has a different bartender.
Okay,
and it's like usually to promote something.
Yeah. I only know that because of the other two.
Right.
Oh
exactly.
yeah, the other two. That was such a funny episode.
Great
I
show.
think like being an F-list celebrity, like you can have a normal life, but maybe like once a week you're gonna get recognized from someone who's like really into your work.
Yeah.
You get to have the freedom. You're making like 6 figures, a modest 6 figures, and getting to do what you love. And but then like fame isn't like I don't want Reddit forums about me.
Although that's kind of tough, because you can get a Reddit forum about you from being on MeTV for a few episodes.
She speaks from experience.
You can get a wiki feet real fast, you guys. I'm on wiki feet.
This is correct. Yes. And congratulations on that.
It's one of the most harming, upsetting things in my life.
Gorstein.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow, there is a Reddit thread about me.
What does it say?
Shelby, I'm
You
scared.
must have known if you brought it up.
No, I didn't know that. I
Here
knew
you
I
go,
had
guys.
a wiki feet. I promise, Hannah, I promise.
There's a little from me. There's a little if you want
What
to
if I
use
start
that.
speaking French?
What
This
does
is
it
my
say?
clone.
What does it say about
I give you
Layla?
consent to jerk off to my white socked feet.
Stop it, guys.
I bet there's a Reddit thread about you too.
Don't even
Watch
look
out.
it up.
Don't
No,
you
please.
look it
I
up.
really don't. I doubt there is, and there better not be.
But she's waiting.
I really don't want that. I don't like other people having opinions about me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Ever.
But they do.
Period.
But you know that they
and,
do.
And people's opinions about me are none of my business.
I agree.
None of my
She doesn't need to know about the back of her mouth, and she doesn't need to know other people's opinions about her. Okay, that reminds me. What are you contemplating?
Honestly,
Seamless transition.
this is a good. Believe it or not, this is a good transition because I'm starting to think about in the same way that you were just like talking about. You don't want to be famous, or it's like being famous is bad. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It's
I'm
our
doing
Taurus
comedy.
blood.
I'm doing my favorite job I've ever done. I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. And as I'm doing it, I'm kind of like, oh, I think this might be one of my last things in this lane.
Ooh, interesting.
That I
on that.
do. Because I'm loving it. I'm having such a good
Yes.
time, but I don't want to be in the environment at Saturday Night Live.
Nope.
Yeah.
Period.
It's toxic. It's bad. I've had so many friends that went to that place and came out broken on the other side of it. Same thing at Second City, but
Yeah. It's easier to
on a smaller scale.
Yeah, I think like now that we're almost a month out.
Yeah.
I'm realizing my nervous system getting back to like base level of being like a normal human, and it's really, really nice. Where I'm like, I would never ever take away doing Second City.
Totally.
But I don't want to be thrust into another environment that makes me feel like my job is threatened, that like I need to produce, that I like it I want to have autonomy over my own life.
Totally.
And I think that was like the thing that towards the end of Second City, I was like, I can't make my own choice. Second City is navigating my life. I am not navigating my life just from the schedule alone.
Yeah.
And energy that it takes. And I'm like, I need to have autonomy again.
Totally. And I'll still be creative. Like I still want to make music. I still want to write. I still want to improvise with my friends. But I just don't want it to be like such an end all be all. Like if I make the stakes so high for everything that I do.
Right.
Every audition is so important. If I get it, I'm good. If I don't get it, I'm bad.
Yeah.
And living and dying by that all the time is miserable. It's a miserable way to live. And I don't get to just be like, oh, what a beautiful day it is today.
Right.
I'm going to go read a book outside.
Yeah, totally.
And
There was I think I've said this on the pod before, but I was listening to Mike Schur talk on Amy Poehler's podcast, and he was the creator of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he's like, I only want to create like secure environments because that's when the best creativity can happen. Like you can tell creatives and comedians like, here are like the lines of limitation, like now go play.
Yeah.
And even if they go outside the lines, that's great because when you give them limitations, then they can like break the rules.
Yes.
But everyone should feel like their job is secure and that they're not like gonna lose it at any moment, or that this is gonna be the end all be all for them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't create or be your best version of who you are and your best artist. And so, but like, I don't understand why so many creative systems are set up this way where we feel like we're gonna fail. Yeah.
Corporate.
Products.
Yeah.
We're the product.
100%.
I think also something, I mean, I talked to Layla about it a lot, and I'm curious because I feel like we agree in a lot of ways in our Taurus nature, but like the visibility gave me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Where like if I got a fucking notification that I was tagged in an Instagram that Second City put up, like I would be like in tears. Like because I felt also like I had no consent over like my image, like over what they were putting out about me. And I like really, really didn't
this literally just happened.
Yes. And I really didn't like that feeling of, I don't know. It was just
The lack of control.
And it's like, also when you're putting that out, then you're inviting all of these people to have opinions about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never actually said, like, being on stage is one thing. You're getting opinions by whether or not people are laughing. But like, they're not like in your face in a way that like the internet is. Like,
Sure.
an internet is like a permanent stamp. The great thing about improv is it lives there and then it dies there.
Yeah.
But I really like hated, even on days when I didn't want to go up in front of an audience, like the visibility of it all gave me a lot of anxiety, which I feel like for some people, it's like the opposite, where they're like, yay, I get to be featured on the Second City's Instagram and I get to like build my follower count. And I'm like, my body just doesn't resonate with that. And it gave me like really, really heightened anxiety.
I tried to, I deleted my Instagram like years ago. And then sometime when I was touring, I was like, I guess I should probably have this. I should probably have something.
Right.
Because I know
of
that's like,
Kidcopter.
yeah, because of Kidcopter.
Yeah.
Right.
I
When
want
you
to
have
like
something
promote
that you want,
stuff,
exactly,
you know?
or even
Right.
to share stuff.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'll make an Instagram. I don't use it at all. I hate it. It is a miserable place to be. It's bad for your brain.
Yeah.
And it sucks my creativity out of me.
Yeah.
But I have one. And I recently got tagged by Second City in a video. And I was like,
Makes my body shiver.
and it was like, it's not like it's like a necessarily negative thing, but it's just an audience member being like, I'm going to them, asking them what their job is.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was a fun clip.
I did really like it.
It's fun. It's fine. But it's just like, it's like the simplest dick joke fast,
Yeah.
gets a cheap laugh.
Right.
And like, I know what our show is, and our show is really good right now. Like, we are making stuff. We have shows where it's like these crazy arcs are happening, and like we tell like complicated things to the audience in ways that like they are not expecting, and it has been so much fun to do this show. And there's so many moments that would be so representative of what we do. And the thing that gets clipped is like the cheapest dick joke in a half second,
right?
That they didn't talk to me about at all. They didn't bring it to me. They weren't like, hey, we'd like to put this clip up. And it's fine. I probably would have said yes. I'd probably been like, fine, go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
But there is something that's like, oh, I have no autonomy over anything at this place.
Nope.
And they don't, like, literally the thing that they told us was it would be too laborious to get your consent for this.
That's so
yes,
crazy.
of course, because that's kind of the whole thing about consent.
And you don't have to bleep this at all, Shelby. You can put it all in there.
But the thing is, it's like, honey, that's what consent is. Yeah, consent is not built to be convenient. It's built to protect people.
Right.
And like literally, it's like,
so
I didn't ask consent to have sex with her because it would have been too hard.
Yeah.
It's just so funny because they don't do the same in exchange. Like we have to ask them for permission all the time to get any sort of break or anything, or to do anything while we're there. And then the same isn't given to us when it's like our image, our likeness, our representation.
Totally.
But yeah, it's just, man, consent is hard to get.
Well, and it's also like nobody knows what this show is either. Everybody's like, it's an improv show. Second City's, trying to like take money from them or whatever. Really, what it is, they just want to improv supernova. Really, they just wanted to like, they didn't want the main stage and E2C to open at the same time, so they just delayed it so that we're going to do a process that's just going to be in late April or something like that. But it's so frustrating to me that the show is something. It is something. It is special. Like, we want to keep doing it. We're even talking about when we go into process, we want one of our shows or two of our shows to be the Improv Supernova show.
I think it's really smart.
Because it keeps us sane, and we get to still
sane.
Create outward instead of being trapped in the same.
The audience, the biggest takeaways are always the improv. Like they love watching it. When I can't remember who came and saw our show the other day, and they were like, my favorite part was the improv set, and we were like, that's hilarious because we barely tried in that.
Always.
And I'm like, I want people to come. I want them to have a good time, and I also want them to know what it is. And I don't know. I'll always be frustrated with the way that I'm presented to the world by people who aren't me.
No, totally.
And I think that's like, I think it's a really smart way. Like, I think be grateful for your perspective on it, because I think that's gonna like protect you a lot, and like also just help you live a life that's like authentic to you. I think a lot of times people get sort of under the trance of what celebrity, of what opportunity, what all of these things are going to do for them. Yeah. And then they realize it doesn't fulfill you in the way you think it's going to.
100%.
And then, so I think recognizing that is so good.
Well, the stakes couldn't be lower for me, right?
You're like, everyone, I will not be famous. I will not.
I'm having
Don't
a
even
great
come to
time
me with
with
an
my
idea.
friends.
Don't even try it. Yeah, the preciousness of it all, I think it can be a killer. When you treat it like it's like, this is going to be the most important thing I do in my life, that I think can already weigh you down or make it less fun and less good.
Yeah.
But this reminded me, like, I was talking to someone yesterday about they brought up like a clip of mine that had gone viral.
Okay.
And it was like one of those things, and me and Hannah were talking about this like while it was happening, where it was like, oh, it's so exciting, like something fun is being recognized and like going viral. But then all of a sudden there's like this darkness that comes with it, because no matter what you do or what you put out there, there's always going to be a dark side because of the internet, where they don't like you for this reason. And like, because I am Jewish in the video and like it was like a Jewish joke, suddenly it became this like whole algorithm of like anti-Semitic comments and all this shit. And it's like, there's no sort of like success, or like when you put yourself out there, however it may be, whoever you are, there's always going to be a like community or commentary that is dark.
Yeah.
I think what because I mean, I've been so vocal about it. I'm sure all my friends are like, shut the fuck up. But like, I just like Instagram comedy and like treading out like content to me is so stressful. And something I love about live theater is that it exists there and there's no commentary on it. Like I love that about live theater. And then also like creating something that's not just like a post on the internet. Like, you know, say you create a short film and you put it out there and you like run it through like the circuit of like things. It's like, oh, I worked really hard. Or like doing a Kid Copter show where it's we wrote this album and it's like, yes, people can have opinions out in the crowd, but like we're all taking part in this experience of this thing that we worked so hard on. And like, yes, art should make you leave and like have opinions and feel things and things like that. But it's like, that's so different than putting something on the internet and then being like, I worked really hard on this. I think it's funny. And then deciding how you should feel about it by how many likes it gets.
Right.
And how you should feel about yourself. And like, it takes so much of the artistry and what like true creation is like all about. It takes the like humanity out of creation.
It's like on one hand, it's a great thing if you want to like create something and have it as an outlet. And unfortunately how it's like become so sort of enmeshed and doing this job of like what you were saying of having to create like a Kid Copter Instagram to promote it because that's like the only way to fucking like get eyes on things now. But I was just talking about this with Daniela where maybe because of AI and the internet, maybe like there'll be this sort of backlash back towards theater again because
I think that's true.
The only real image you can see where you know it's happening and it's not AI because it's real in front of you.
And if you can make a viral front-facing video, I can almost guarantee you that you're not that good at theater.
Right. No,
there is not a correlation.
Translate.
It does not
It's just
work.
not the same.
Yeah.
And like
people try to put the internet on stage all the time and it is tough.
people are going to
watch.
like start craving the shared experience again of like being in a room with all people and being like, only we think this is funny because it's like spontaneous and improvised in the moment and
we never see that.
Yeah.
We never see that. We only see like the most hyper edited, like you say one line cut, one line cut, one line cut, one line cut.
Right.
It's like such like a piecemeal sort of thing. You never see somebody like create a complete thing right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you can't really fake that.
Right.
Yeah.
Fake
But
the viral
listen,
stuff,
putting stuff out on the internet, totally like, I get it. I totally get it.
Don't do it. I say I'm against it. Don't do it.
We put up clips from this podcast onto Instagram, but like I will say I am never putting it out there to be like, I wonder how many likes we're going to get on it. I'm like, oh, this is a nice way. The best case scenario, you see a clip and you're like, I'm going to go listen to my first episode of this podcast. And then you never have to look at our Instagram ever again.
Sure.
Just listen to our podcast every week. You know what I mean? Like I don't like this podcast is not to be on Instagram. This podcast is to like live as a podcast and to talk to our friends.
No, I participated. I'm not above it. I think I just hate the whole like the property of it. Like anytime you work for a building, they see you as their property.
Yeah.
And your ideas are their property. Your everything you do is their property. And the internet is kind of the same way. It's like when somebody's watching your thing or watching, like for that moment, they're like, I own this person in my phone and they need to do a thing that entertains me personally. And it has to be sort of aimed at my interest directly or else it's not even worth. So it feels like because algorithms are making everything a mirror, there aren't as many windows where you're like, oh, I'm actually looking into something else and I'm having an experience that I wouldn't even pick for myself. But now that I'm being forced to have it, I feel expanded by it.
Yeah.
I
Which
also
is like what great art does.
Yeah. I also think in like the same wave of like maybe people going back to theater, like I'm finding, at least within myself and like maybe the wave of people, it's like, so we started off as movies, then we didn't have the attention span for movies. Then we went to series, we don't have the attention span for series. Then we go to clips and I find myself like watching 10 to 15 seconds of like an Instagram clip and I'm done. But then now I'm like, I want to watch a movie because after I watch a movie, I feel like I ran a marathon in the best way possible like, I did it. I watched the whole movie and I felt good because I experienced this movie and it was like, and I feel like people are like craving that. Like people like, you know, when things get so digestible where it's like you're not getting that dopamine anymore, then you have to figure out new ways to we're all just hunting for dopamine in any way that we can.
Well, you see like a great movie, you see like a great long form thing and it stays with you for so long. You think about it for days or even like a year later, you'll be like, I want to go watch Phantom Thread again or whatever, you know, like, but like a piece of content is gone instantly.
Yep.
I was thinking about, I remember it was so huge when it happened and we could all barely remember. Do you remember the song that one woman sang?
What does the fox?
No. No.
No.
Stop.
Stop
Hannah.
it.
Don't guess what I'm going to say. You know the woman rap where it was like, Angela Bassett did the thing.
Yeah.
Viola Davis, my woman king.
Yes.
I was bringing it up the other day and we'd all kind of forgotten that it had happened at all and who it was and what it was like. And I remember it was like the only thing people talked about for the second that it happened.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, that's content. That is the kind of thing that like you watch and it disappears and it washes over you.
That's
and then
why
there's
it's
some
like
stuff that's like, you talk about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind like 20 years or 30 years after it came out, whatever it is, and it's still just as good as it was when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like moments of culture that provoke you versus it just like being a blip on Instagram and then you forget about it.
Well, it's the same thing with people getting canceled. It's like cancellations used to be years long and now it's like you can be canceled for 30 days and you're back, baby.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Thank God for that.
Amen.
Thank God for that.
Really benefiting
Now, what
me.
are you curious about, Chase?
Yes, Chase.
What am I curious about? Oh, you're gonna hate this.
Perfect.
I'll tell you what I've been going. Okay, you know how like at there's a certain age that men get where they start getting really into World War II.
Yes.
I'm
have
not
to go to
doing
the
that.
bathroom.
Hannah, I'm not doing that. I don't need. That's not my. I have my own World War II.
You said World War
Okay.
Which are the Gnostic Gospels.
One.
What the hell?
Ding, ding, ding. Take a drink, Claire. He brought up the second thing.
Love you, babe.
9/11
like,
Gnostic Gospels.
And here's the thing. I'm actually into this. So explain to the people what this is.
Okay, so first of all, it's kind of a misnomer, but it's used as a blanket term for in 1945 in Egypt. In these caves, there was this library that was discovered, the Nag Hammadi Library. And it was all these like old texts that were written, like the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, like all of these old texts that were written at the same time. I think that the ones that they found were in Coptic. They were in Egyptian and they're from the 4th century, but they were translations of earlier copies of these things. So they were written at the same time as like the Bible.
Right.
I was raised Catholic. So
Okay,
I'm not,
braggy.
Yeah, huge peace be with you.
Peace be with you.
And with your spirit. I'm not Catholic anymore, and I haven't been for a very long time. But I know all the lore.
Yeah.
So this is a real lore expansion for everything. It completely like recontextualizes the gospel story, and because Jesus is like kind of an alien in the, he's like, I'm in prison, I'm stuck here, I'm trapped here, I don't want to be here, but I got sent. Because
Kind of E.T.
Well, it makes the whole story is like this. Like there's like this. The one true God is called like the monad or something like that, and it's like light. And the idea is that it created this character named Sophia, who is like a lower level, like a dyad, a lower level god. And Sophia creates this abomination god that goes against the light, goes against the direction
Devil?
of the light. It's called the demiurge.
Okay.
Demiurge.
And
Demigorgon.
The demiurge doesn't know that it's basically Sophia's like, I've created a monster. I realize my mistake and abandons the demiurge.
God damn it.
And the demiurge thinks it's alone, thinks it's the one true God because it's been abandoned, has no concept of anything else around it, creates earth and creates humans, and it is like the God of the Old Testament. So like the Judeo-Christian God is this like abomination that was created, and Jesus, who's from the light, got sent to be like, the kingdom of heaven is all around you, and like you can find it. Your goal is to wake up and go back to the light. So like it changes the gospel stories completely because Jesus is not like the Son of God, like the God that we think of, because the God that we think of is the wrong. It's not even
That's
God.
the demiurge.
It's the demiurge.
So do
it's just like a
people-
real lore expansion.
Do
and
people
it's so
believe in
interesting.
this?
There's like a huge branch of people that are like
What would they call themselves?
Gnostics.
Gnostics.
Interest. I mean,
Yeah.
even in that, like all religion is telling the same stories in different ways,
Right?
Yes.
You know, it's
100%.
like it's all the same thing. But even that, it's like I find religion just like I don't say I'm one religion, but like I find religion very interesting. I find spirituality,
I'm the exact
everything,
same way,
where
yes.
it's just like I love to like learn about it, and I love to like take what I like about certain things, leave what I don't, and just also power, religion, money, how it's all been entangled forever.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, the retellings. And it's like with the Bible, it's so like, well, I guess with that, you wouldn't know who wrote all of this. Like, who wrote all, like, do they say, because the Bible is written by all men.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean? Where it's like,
I got
okay,
a feeling this is consistent with that.
women couldn't write
I got a
back
feeling
then.
that I think the fellas wrote this.
This has a very masculine energy about it.
Classic. I know. Yeah. It's giving like Pandora's box.
Yeah.
I like this idea though, because yesterday I was on a walk and we were going under the tunnel on Webster, like towards Damon. And basically there was like a torn off pigeon wing. And I was like, Joey, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? He was like, oh, well, pigeons like fight each other and they do that on purpose to like rip each other's wings off.
Classic Joey.
Classic Joey.
Fucking love Joey so much.
And I was like, I was just thinking, and then we were talking about this like in length on our way to Hex, where I was like, why do we live in like a cruel world where every single species has the instincts to like fuck each other up like that in a violent way or like rip each other's wings off?
The whole thing is that this guy was like a petty, insecure, like created man to worship him. Who would do that?
Like, why do we have a demiurge God where like our instinct, like in humanity, in every fucking species, there is this like urge to kill. It's like a natural instinct. And with like pleasure always comes this like fucked up, disgusting Pizzagate, like of all these like crazy dark shit. Like, who created a world where it was like that? And me and Joey were just like getting to the depth of like creation and blah, blah, blah. But it kind of goes along with the Gnostic gospel.
Well, yeah. And the story's even more fucked. Like, there's even more, like, the reason that Noah's Ark happens, it answers, like, why does God create humanity, kill them all because they're bad, and then they just keep being bad afterwards. Right.
Yeah.
Didn't fix anything.
What happened
right?
to the reset?
So what happens in the actual, in the Gnostic, in the real gospel, is
Your gospel.
my gospel, is that angels come down, they see women, they're like, they're hot. They start having sex with the women.
This is in the Gnostic
This
gospel?
is in the
Okay.
this is in
Horny.
one of them.
This is why you like it.
They start having sex with the women. Oh, I love this stuff. Historically. For the history.
Claire, ding, ding,
They
ding.
start having angel sex with the women. And then they create demons, basically. Like, demons come from, they're like the children of man and angels, because the angels weren't supposed to do that. And that so God flooded the earth to try to kill all the demons that were created by angels having sex with humans. And that was like,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like a very manly lore. Like,
yeah.
because also I was just thinking about like all of these different writers that make these like long 1,000-page fantasy books. Like, I think the one that Joey's reading right now is Brandon Sanderson wrote it. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's like the Dawn of Kings or something like that, and it's like 1,000 pages, but it goes into like kind of the Game of Thrones path where it's like kind of all the same, like Dune, Game of Thrones. And I just wonder what a woman gospel would look like.
I mean, there are definitely like divine feminine, like people like Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, and like,
Yeah.
well,
Mother Gaia, gotta get Mother Gaia.
I mean, the thing is, it's like what I think, all of these men are like, feel an inferiority complex that women can create children and they cannot.
Sure.
And so it's like we must now reclaim the narrative that we are actually more powerful than this being that can create a human life. Like, all we need from a man to create a whole ass human life is one sperm. Like, and that's all we, and then
I'm providing them, baby.
And then that's all we need. And then our system takes that and like we are like women are like beautiful miracles of like creation.
Sure.
And I think, and we have been for all of time, and that has always made men scared. And like, we
And then
need
even
to
the
have
way that
power over
men
that.
write about it is that it was like a consequence to women to have to give childbirth.
Yeah.
Yes.
That like it was a punishment because women weren't being more obedient.
Yeah.
Fucking
Right.
Eve.
And well, or that like that Eve was made out of a rib of Adam. Adam was first. And I'm
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
how convenient.
Have you read? Okay, so ETC just read this book called "I Who Have Never Known Men." We're
So-
doing like a little
yes.
book club thing.
Ooh, that's fun.
Awesome.
So-
It's so good. It's the most depressing shit you've ever read in your entire life. It will really bring you down at times.
So I read it probably I think like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And because I'm always reading some feminist literature, baby. And I did really enjoy it, and I thought it was interesting. It's basically women are living in civilization with no men, and like how does that?
Yeah.
And like, this isn't really, well, I guess there's a little bit of a spoiler, but a woman it follows this woman who's in a bunker and with all other women.
Yeah.
And then she sees one man who is like the guard.
You like what you're hearing so far, Layla?
When you said bunker, Chase went like nodded at me and then did some eyebrows. So
You love bunker
Oh
shit.
God, I'm getting horny for it.
But then something happens that makes it so then women are just living in society with each other.
Yeah.
And how that, and then the dynamics that play out from that. And it's really interesting. It's really interesting to think about. Like I think about, what would society be like without men? And I don't think it would be perfect. I'm on my journey of trying to be nicer to men. And because the psychic told me I need to be nicer to men.
How's it been going?
Not well. Not well. But it is like both are necessary. Okay, fine, I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I think men and women are necessary.
Whoa, I did not expect you to say that.
I would argue the spectrum, the general
spectrum.
spectrum is necessary.
Yes.
And it's just inherent. And
Yeah.
it's like whether or not you put value on, or like I deserve power because I am this thing.
Yes.
Is a broken way of thinking. I would
Right.
say.
Or just like thinking you deserve power in any way. Or like the fact that religion will use it as a way to have power over other people. It's like, come on, let's stop trying to have power over each other.
That's enlightenment, right? Like enlightenment is like being above power. Like that's how you become enlightened, is like releasing ego. Ego
Totally.
is power. How a lot of religions are, how do we find enlightenment? How are we not tempted by power? How do we rise above that very human desire that we have?
Right.
But it's just like, what are the means to find that enlightenment?
And I think that's like the toxic thing about like faith in general is like you just believe. And you have to believe, and if you believe something else, then you're bad.
Exactly.
And
you're
that's like-
damned to hell.
Yes.
And you're damned.
You're damned to hell for eternity.
For eternity.
With the-
All
Is there a hell in
eternity.
these scripts?
I think so. The idea is like if you become enlightened, you rejoin the light, and that is your goal: is to stay in the light. You're kind to people. It's like the Christ message, the philosophy is exactly the same as the New Testament philosophy, but the storytelling is just different. And the idea is like I think you just continue being reborn in prison. So like Earth is hell.
Yeah.
You're already
I mean,
here.
I've dabbled in that thought before, that we are in hell. And then it's like, I also think like reincarnation is like really interesting, where it's like, okay, say Earth is hell. We did not like reach enlightenment in this lifetime. So it's then like, how well did we do? Okay, we're going to come back as a blade of grass. Or how are you going to gain perspective in that way?
Yeah.
You come back, and then it's like, or like old souls and young souls. Like how many lives have you lived on this earth? And like, which one is the one when you finally learned the lesson that was your soul's lesson, and then you get to go to the light?
Totally.
You know?
And I love the existentialism of spirituality.
Same.
Definitely. And you know what, you guys? I'm not even joking. This perfectly brings me into my cell.
Oh my
Hit
God.
it.
Transition
And let me tell you why, okay? So my therapist gave me this strategy, and we sometimes use it in our therapy sessions, but like I also will sometimes use it as like a journal prompt or a way to reflect. But it's called the SPERM method, and SPERM is an acronym in this case, but literally it's the SPERM that's necessary. S stands for spirituality. P stands for physically. E is emotionally, R relationally, and then M mentally. And so
Did
it's like,
she create this method and call it sperm?
I don't think she created it, but it was like a method.
Wait, say it one more time. Sorry.
So sperm.
No, I
and
got
it's
sperm.
like
That's the part that I kept thinking about, and that's why I missed the rest of it.
Sorry. Okay, so like, how are you doing spiritually? How are you doing physically? How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing relationally? And how are you doing mentally?
And there wasn't like any other sort of way that they could.
What about MERPs?
Perms. We're getting our perms done.
It's gotta be sperm. It's gotta be sperm.
Well, now I feel bad that it's sperm.
It's just so funny that your therapist was like, I've got this method and stick with me.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I love it. I was like, that makes total sense.
But finish the idea.
So just that, like, it's a great way to check in with your whole system, but that a lot of times, like, especially spiritually, because at first I was like, well, I don't really like have much to say spiritually.
Yeah.
But then I was just thinking, we were talking a lot about how, like, rather than what you were saying earlier of like finding faith in something, because if you don't, then you're going to hell, like having this sort of like idea or hope of like a higher power that gives meaning to things. And it like, I don't know, it just made a lot more sense to me, because I think spiritually, especially for a long time, I was feeling like really not meaningful or purposeful in anything. And, it was like on my mind a lot, because she'll always ask me like, oh, are you going to go to synagogue, or like, are you going to do anything for the Jewish holidays? And I'm like, no. But like, now I kind of understand why I would, and why it might be important, because even if I don't necessarily like agree with every single thing, there are so many parts of spirituality and anyway, but like of the enlightenment factor, but just feeling fulfilled. I think spiritual people often are like happy.
Totally.
Yeah. But it's just been a nice check-in of like emotionally, okay, like I might feel a little more emotional right now because I'm getting close to my period. Relationally, like I haven't gotten to talk to my friends in a while. I think I'm going to call my friend while I like do laundry today and just check in. And then mentally, like I'm feeling like slow in the brain because I've been on a new medication or something along those lines.
Totally.
And it's a great way to just like be like, oh, okay, now that I have it on paper, I see why I'm where I'm at.
Yeah.
Love.
Sperm.
That's great.
Myself, sperm.
Myself, sperm.
Perms.
Perms.
It's not perms, you guys. It's gotta be sperm.
Press them.
Please don't do it unless you're gonna spell it out sperm.
It's really important, actually. That's in
If
that
you don't do
order.
it in order, things are really gonna be messed up for you.
Marps. I love that. Okay, I have myself. Mine is we're bringing it back to the dentist. It's not go to the dentist, but it's do that thing that you've been putting off. I like the bright side of the dark internet that we've been talking about is sometimes you scroll upon a gem that can inspire you. And I found this girl, I don't remember what her name was, but she basically will help her friends. It'll be like, so say I came over to Layla's house and I was like, what's something in your home that's been like you've put off for a long time that you have need to be doing? And you're like, this closet, this like my towel closet, it's been a year since I've done it and I need to organize it, or I need to go through my closet and I need to, it's like, okay, we're going to do this thing and we're going to time how long it actually takes. And it'll be like 45 minutes. And it'll be like, you've put it off for like 2 years. And in reality, that thing only takes 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then so she goes through and does that with all of her friends. And it'll be like this drawer that I haven't touched in 5 years. And it takes 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was really inspiring to be like, oh, and so like, just like the dopamine, even though I didn't get the greatest news at the dentist, the dopamine hit that I got afterwards of being like, oh my God, I did that thing and it wasn't that drama. Like it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
But then like accomplishing that made me feel so good and then inspired me to like do that in more areas of my life of being like, I should go get blood work done. Like, there's nothing wrong, but like, I've been putting off getting blood work. I should just go get blood work done.
Sure.
And so go, that thing that you've been putting off, do it. Just do it and see if you want it to be like even simpler than that, put a timer on and do that thing for 1 hour. 1 hour of your life and do that thing and see where you get.
Oh, that reminded me of the thing. So I learned this from Sarah, your sister.
I thought you were going to say sperm.
From sperm. That actually brings me back to sperm when you think relationally. No, Sarah a long time ago had like posted a thing on her story that was like, my friend taught me this ADHD trick where when like they come over and are with you, you're able to like achieve the task.
Yeah.
But I forgot what it's called. I think it's like parent friend or something. Like it's like a term.
I have no idea.
Can you look it up, Shelby? Anyway, but your sister taught me that, and it's like an ADHD hack. Body doubling. Where like kind of what Hannah was saying of if there's something that's really annoying that you have to get done, it really helps to have a friend with you because especially if you're ADHD, because then it like holds you accountable and you have company.
Yeah.
Anyway,
love.
Yeah.
All right. What's your cell?
I would say my cell is find your meditation, which is not to say that you need to sit in a chair and close your eyes and like repeat a word over and over again, but find the task that you do that you can be with your own thoughts comfortably. I do not want to be with my own thoughts. I do not want to sit with my own brain for an hour or whatever that thing is. I think for me, it's been like I've been making bread. I brought Joey some sourdough starter today.
And look, I've had a loaf of Chase's bread, and I gotta say, 10 out of 10. It was really amazing.
I'm putting the light of the monad in there. The
light, yes.
Sophia's light is in my bread.
I tasted
Mother
the light.
Sophia.
I don't know if because I told you how I had it for breakfast. Another thing that I did is me and Claire had went to lunch and we got this dirty martini salad, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna like make this salad at home.
Yeah.
And so I took your sourdough and I made sourdough breadcrumbs out of it and put that on my dirty martini salad.
It's so flexible.
It's so flexible. And I was just like, oh my God, it was a really great loaf.
I do all kinds of stuff. Like it's open face sandwiches. You can create.
You can create.
It gives you a little palette, and you just do anything with it.
When you're making it, do you listen to music or?
Well, you're just saying how
No.
this kind of, because with the meditation of it all, like that making the bread and like using your hands is very meditative.
Well, I was saying like, and ultimately it's like there aren't enough activities in my day where I am actively like just with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Where I'm not, with Instagram or something like that. It's like I'm not thinking at all.
Yeah.
I'm being told exactly what to look at and what to think about it. And this is funny. This is tragic. This is, here's 3 videos that are like the funniest little clip of a little stand-up or like a baby saying, talking about what the baby, my favorite baby, the one who's like, well, I gotta go pick up sticks, and then I gotta. Big day today.
I love a stressed out baby.
Babies acting like adults.
Mow the lawn. I'm gonna,
Have you seen that little girl who, where she's like, there's a hint of tomato. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
She's like, there's a hint of, and she
Yeah.
like just keeps saying there's a hint of.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Or like, Mom, you better not talk to me that way. Like that sort of thing.
Or have you seen the little boy? We're like, and have you seen the little boy who's washing dishes? And it's like, what are you doing? He's like, ma'am. He's
Yeah.
like, washing dishes.
Washing dishes.
And that's the best. I love that. And then the next thing you see, it's like, and here's a guy dying, and you're like,
I know.
oh,
They're eating.
oh my
they're
God.
eating these things that you think are so cute.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like having a meditative thing, just something that makes you feel very present with your own thoughts, and there's no invasive forces like telling you what to do or like what you should be thinking about, is scary. But the more you get used to it, the more calming and safe it feels.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love that.
I find a lot of meditation, and I do meditate every day. I have this real freaky guy named Breathe with Sandy on YouTube, and I love him. And every day he starts, "Hello, all you beautiful breathing people." But that's a little bit more like breathworky. But like walking outside, and like some days I'm like, I'm gonna leave my headphones, so I'm not gonna be like listening to podcasts or audiobooks, and I'm gonna be like very much just in my neighborhood in the present. I find that very meditative.
I feel like it's such a scary task to do something without listening to anything or like plugging in
Raw.
Raw dogging it. But then I think that's like when the best sort of like ideas come to you, or like those thoughts where you're just able to be in your zone because you're kind of opening your vessel.
You know what else that you do and that is also meditative for me is like playing music.
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting on your couch, like, and I've been doing it more and more recently. I like was saying in the last episode how since being out of Second City and Main Stage, I found myself singing at my apartment again, which I noticed that I didn't do for 10 years or 10 years, 2 years that I like, I wasn't just like singing or like, and I see my guitar and I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up my guitar. Or it's like, oh, I have 13 minutes before I have to catch the bus. And I grab my guitar and I just like strum it a little bit. And then suddenly time has like went by and I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this for 25 minutes. And like, that's like the best sign of being like, oh, you like lost yourself into it where it's just like you lose time.
I'm
It's
really
so hard
glad
to
you're
lose
doing
yourself.
Me too. I'm really excited too. I think it's a lot of what with music, it's tapping into my like childhood self, and just like even with like spirituality and religion, it's like I grew up in a church where it's like music was powerful, and like I know like
totally
this week I was playing like Brother Where Art Thou songs, and I was like sending it to Carrie like I grew up singing
I went
in
down
the
to the river.
highways, in the hedges, in the highways.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
I really wanted that to
What
work.
about the one that
I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. And that's the shit that me and Carrie will like sit at my apartment for like hours and just like sing old like country songs, and like, but that was like I was in a bluegrass band with like my dad singing that song. Like I'm like a 4-year-old singing that, and so like when I sing something like that, like my whole body gets like emotional in like the best way, where it's like it's bringing up all of these things, and it's like, but it's like powerful and cool.
I can totally see that. It like transforms you back to that moment. That's really weird. We were literally just watching Oh Brother Where Art Thou yesterday.
Wow,
that's crazy.
It's on my Mount Rushmore.
Whoa, it's in the air. Wait, what'd you say?
It's on my Mount Rushmore of like favorite films.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow, that really applies.
I love that movie so much. Every character is so big and it's so silly. It's like a cartoon, but it's so good.
Such a good soundtrack too.
I love the other one. I went down to the river and pray,
studying about that good old land who shall bear.
This little light of mine,
A classic.
I'm gonna let it shine.
We got a lot
This
of
little light of mine,
gospel-y
light.
songs on a new album that Kid
Here
Copter
we go. Let's get that
made.
plug. The plug. Let's go.
We haven't
Talk
announced
about
it yet,
it.
but it's going to be on May 1st. Mr. Tough Guy and the Greenlight Cruise recorded it in 3 days at Jesse Case's studio down in Southern Illinois, Outsider Audio.
On a farm, right?
On a farm.
Can't believe it's finally coming out.
We're so excited, and it was so fun to make. It's the best thing I've ever made when it comes to like music by far.
So exciting.
The best
How
thing
many
I've ever
songs
made.
are there?
It's like
35.
411.
It's like 13 tracks, but one of them's like an intro to the next track.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
that's
43
cool.
minutes of music, so it's
Perfect
a full.
length.
That's awesome.
It's
It's
a
a good
full
length.
length LP. Yeah,
Love
Wow.
that. So exciting.
and it rolls.
Can't
Are
wait
you,
to listen.
once it comes out, do you have any plans to do any shows?
I'm sure we will. We don't know what it's going to be yet.
Yeah.
We're kind of trying to get our release package together so that we actually have a comprehensive thing that we're pushing out on social medias everywhere. So
There we go.
Get ready for your feeds to be clogged with Mr. Tough Guy and the
freaking
Greenlight
wait.
Cruise.
I mean, I've said it once, I've said it again. Kid Copter needs to go on at least a mini tour. I think you guys would have such a good time.
We're planning on doing it. I think because John's from Southern Illinois, I'm from Kentucky, Tony's from Minnesota, so that's a little bit harder. But both our drummer and John Love, friend of the pod, they're both from Southern Illinois. So we're thinking about doing like a little tour of that area because it is like very Southern rock influence too. That's probably where I mean, there's like a lot of like blues and gospel and stuff in it too. But I think in general, we will go do like a little bit of a mini tour. And again, that's the thing that feels good to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like, it's just us.
So fun.
We love it. We love being together. We
And,
love
like,
playing music together.
It's not about like turning a profit to be like, oh,
because we won't.
Exactly. It'll only cost us money.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, even you guys all have so many friends, like putting together something where it's like, oh yeah, we can go stay with this person, like go play a room of like 35 and like have a night and like go. That's what I was also talking with Carrie about, is like what I loved about doing like a Ruth and Elaine show is like we'd go play 2 or 3 songs somewhere. We'd be like on a lineup somewhere. We go have a drink, play a couple songs, hang out, have more drinks, go out to dinner. Like that is not the culture around doing a Second City show, where it's like, oh, like doing that sort of show. It's just like, this feels so good and it's so fun. And it's like, you're still getting to perform, but it's not all about that.
Yeah, like the most special show that we've ever done probably was in Jacksonville, Illinois. There was like 60 people in a record store. And none of them had heard a single one of our songs. And by the end, they were goo goo gaga.
Oh,
it was
that.
like so fun. Just like that weird conversion process of everybody getting on board and us feeling them getting on
That's
board
the
by
best.
the end. Like maybe even being nervous that we were going to suck.
Yeah.
Right.
Until we didn't. And
Totally.
then like,
And they were so surprised. I even think of like just, it's also easy with like once you're at Second City and you're getting like these big crowds, and you're not used to playing for like small crowds anymore. But even thinking of like when y'all played like on like the stoop of like the garden walk or whatever, and it's like,
so
you know,
fun.
6 or 7 people who walk by, all ages, like all different like walks of life are coming up and just like listening for a little bit. And it's just fun. And it's
there was
like,
a basketball game playing on the court next door, and we played Sandstorm. It was so fun. Like,
and it's just, and you get to like, it connects you with people that maybe you even wouldn't have talked to otherwise. And like, I don't know. I just think it's very, I think also when you play a smaller show and you kind of like hang out, and that's like a part of it, is you like connect with people. At Second City, it's like you do a show and you don't ever talk to any of the people who see you at that show.
Yeah.
Which like, as opposed to a smaller show, you're playing the show, you're hanging out, you're having a couple drinks, people are coming up to you.
It's
and
much
like,
more communal.
Yeah, and you're like making connections, and it's fun in that way. So I'm excited to do more of that.
the other day, John and I went to Ale House, and I didn't realize my debit card had just expired. It was like February to March.
Oh, damn.
And it was, so my credit card or my debit card had expired like 7 minutes earlier. So I couldn't get,
That's crazy.
and Ale House is cash only, so I couldn't get cash out of the thing. And as we were realizing it, a guy just walked up to us and was like, saw your show tonight. It was incredible. Get 2 drinks on me.
Come
and gave us
on.
cash.
Beauty, the universe. Well, we never like, I do believe like because I think in Cast Past, it was way more like, let's do a show and go to Ale House till 4 in the morning.
Right.
And it's like, now we're all not like as functioning alcoholics as they were.
Totally.
So it's like, there was just and usually after a show, it's like, if we were drinking, we'd be like, we're all just want to drink with each other.
Yeah.
And so we would never like go out to those places.
Sure.
But I do believe that experience exists after a Second City show. I just didn't really tap into it.
Totally.
No, totally. It is. It's cool how like when you're doing something that is going back to your cell of like meditative, how it will connect you with others. Because even just like you making sourdough and then people wanting your sourdough and you like giving it, I don't know. Or like I'm thinking about when I went on a long bike ride for the first time in forever, and how you like, there's like a certain kind of personality of like people who are bikers, or like someone who's like a musician, where there's just like this like chillness to, you know, where you get to talk to people and you're like, oh yeah, you guys took the Torrey Pines. Okay, cool. Like where you just start talking and it's, I don't
it's
know,
not
it's
a
just
competition. It's just like,
Right.
I'm interested.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You're literally just relating over interests.
Yeah.
Yep.
Novel.
Enlightenment. Okay. Olive is very done with us being on the podcast
I
right
think
now.
I
all
know.
of our stomachs growled at different points, like in the last like 20 minutes.
Oh, 100%.
It's lunchtime.
I
This
got a
is so much
talkative boy.
fun.
I'm hungry.
I had such a blast. Loved. I could talk
I had
longer.
fun.
Talking
did
is
you have
so
a good
fun.
time, Jace?
I hope it's your most famous episode.
Oh my
Yes,
God, me too.
back to the
I hope this is the one that goes viral.
Yeah, this is the one that it's going to go super
Let's put
mega
a
viral.
bunch of we'll make really offensive clips of this of Chase to put on Instagram with no
the Diddy one.
Skull fucking.
skull fucking. Can you believe in this episode we talked about skull fucking for 50 minutes?
Yeah, and I was the one that brought it up.
And he brought it up?
Well, I was going to bring it up,
You were going to bring it up.
but it came up
What
organically.
you're curious
Exactly.
about. Such a pleasure. Go see Chase at Improv Supernova and keep a lookout for that album.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Good album.
Thursdays through Sundays at BTC
Second
at the
City.
Second City.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
then what day does your album come out again?
May 1st.
May 1st,
The day
baby.
before my birthday. Not
Oh my
to
God.
dox myself. Taurus, what's up?
Taurus, what's up?
Taurus, what's up?
Okay. Bye. Oh, wait. Chase.
Oh my God, Chase, you have to sing us
You
out.
have to sing us out.
Also,
So-
May 1st is
I
my
have to
half
do
birthday.
the theme song.
Here we go.
Ready?
5, 6, 7, 8.
I can't wait to tell you.
Oh, the run at the end. That
Oh
was
my
really
God.
I tried to make it
good.
breathy too. It's real breathy.
I've got goosebumps.
All right. Bye.
I can't wait to tell you.
That's the point. We have to edge you before you get on.
My
Layla just
own
left.
thoughts. Yeah, Layla doesn't want to hear this.